We live in a world that constantly demands our attention. Emails, notifications, responsibilities, comparisons. We are conditioned to look outside of ourselves for validation, happiness, and success. But in doing so, we forget the most sacred place of all, our inner world. Carl Jung, the great Swiss psychiatrist and founder of analytical psychology, believed that the journey inward is the key to real transformation. He said, "Your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakens." Awakening is not an instant moment of enlightenment. It's a slow, often painful process of self-discovery. It's choosing to stop blaming the outside world for your suffering and starting to ask yourself, why do I feel this way? Where does this pattern come from? What am I not seeing? When you prioritize yourself, you begin this process of inner inquiry. And the answers you find are rarely easy, but they're always freeing. We were raised to believe that self-worth comes from achievement, pleasing others, or being good enough. But Jung reminds us that healing begins when we stop chasing perfection and start embracing wholeness. Wholeness means accepting all parts of yourself. Not just the ones that are beautiful, successful, or lovable, but also the ones you've tried to hide. Your fears, your anger, your sadness, your mistakes. Jung called this the shadow, the unconscious part of the psyche that contains everything we've suppressed. And here's the truth. What you refuse to look at within yourself, you will keep attracting in your life. That's why toxic relationships, repeated frustrations, or emotional emptiness often show up again and again. Life isn't punishing you. It's trying to wake you up. It's trying to get you to stop running and start healing. When you begin to prioritize your healing journey, you realize how much of your energy was being spent trying to please others, seeking approval, or staying in places that hurt you just to avoid being alone. But being alone is not the same as being lonely. Solitude, when chosen consciously, becomes a sanctuary. It's in the silence that you begin to hear your true voice, the one buried beneath all the noise and expectations. You begin to realize that your intuition was never gone. It was just ignored. That your self-worth was never missing. It was just buried under years of self-doubt. Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." So many of us repeat cycles because we haven't healed the original wound. We chase love because we never received unconditional love as children. We fear abandonment because we were emotionally neglected. We sabotage happiness because we were taught that we don't deserve it. But the beautiful thing is, once you become aware of the pattern, you can change it. Awareness is the first step. Compassion is the second. And action is the third. You begin setting boundaries, not to push others away, but to protect your peace. You start saying no to what drains you, and yes to what aligns with your soul. You stop begging for love and start becoming the source of your own love. This isn't easy. Sometimes it means walking away from relationships that no longer serve your growth. Sometimes it means facing childhood pain that you've avoided for years. Sometimes it means rebuilding your identity from the ground up. But with every layer you peel back, you come closer to your authentic self, the part of you that is eternal, wise, and whole. When you prioritize yourself, something magical happens. The people who are only attracted to your wounded self begin to fall away, and the people who resonate with your healed self begin to appear. Your reality shifts, because reality is a mirror of your inner world. You start attracting opportunities that match your energy. You begin to feel peace even when things are uncertain. You trust yourself more. You stop needing control, and instead, you flow. You realize that healing isn't about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you were before the world told you who to be. Jung reminds us, the goal is not perfection. The goal is integration, light and shadow, strength and vulnerability, confidence and humility. All of it belongs. Healing doesn't mean the absence of pain. It means you no longer fear it. It means you know how to hold yourself through it. You learn to be your own home, your own anchor, and slowly you stop searching for a savior because you become your own. So take the time to listen to yourself. Sit in stillness. Feel your emotions. Write, cry, reflect, rest, set boundaries. Say no without guilt. Say yes without fear. This is not selfishness. This is sacred self-prioritization, and in doing so, you give others permission to do the same. We are all mirrors. When one person heals, it creates a ripple. When you choose yourself, you don't just transform your life, you transform everything around you. So remember, prioritizing yourself isn't an act of rebellion, it's an act of love. And from that love, true healing flows without barriers.